Hello and welcome to A Book in 5 Minutes with me, Lindsay Milner. This week, a slight departure, but it does still fit within the personal development area, I believe, and that is we're looking at decluttering your home. The book is called The Secret Life of Clutter and it is written by Helen Sanderson. She is a professional organiser and declutterer. But she's also a trained therapist and apparently also an interior designer, so quite a mix of skills there. The book, in her introduction, she explains something about her process and why she believes that looking at the sort of underlying psychological attachment to our objects, to our clutter, is important, and as part of the process she does challenge people on their beliefs and why they're hanging on to things, and what it often sort of uncovers some past trauma or some part of their life, something that's happened in the past that they're unable to let go of. It's not just the clutter that they can't let go of, it's the emotional, the trauma, the pain, the sadness that's kind of underlying that. So the rest of the book then focuses on stories of people that she's helped, and it's quite an interesting read. It's fairly easy to read because it is based in stories about people and people's lives, and then she aims to help those people, the clients, move towards a sort of more secure attachment to their home. Not hanging on too firmly to the past that it's preventing people from moving on. And she says that as part of the decluttering process, she often finds that people have significant shifts in their understanding and are able to let go of personal trauma as well as the actual objects and have a home that they are much more comfortable in. She says the home can be a place of safety and, a kind of a sanctuary, but also it can feel like a prison. So what she wants to do is to move people on to a point where they are comfortable and secure and feel safe in their home, and it's managed in an appropriate way without being obsessive compulsively tidy, in the same way that at the moment they're drowning in clutter. I quite liked the book on some levels, but I kind of felt that it wasn't very practical in terms of if you wanted to undertake this process yourself. As well as the stories, she does often point to links and questionnaires on her website and resources that she's got on her website, but I really felt that the book was aimed more at getting the reader to know and like and trust her and be in a position to want to engage her services, which, it's a common thing that people do when they're writing a book. But I mean, a lot of the time, even though they're aiming at that, they usually provide you with enough information for you to be able to have a go at the process under your own steam. And I felt like this didn't. I think, it was an interesting read, the resources are there, and if you are ready to engage the services of someone and have the budget to be able to do that, then yeah, it could be an interesting read. Also, if you're just interested in the psychology of it and not really looking at I'm drowning in clutter, how can I start to move forwards with this? One of the frustrations that I've got is that to do this process and to do it justice, it requires a significant investment in time. And I think, in common with quite a lot of self-help books, if you look at diet books, if you want to eat a healthy diet, if you want to improve your fitness, those things all require a significant investment in time. If you want to learn something, if you want to start a business, time again. And one thing she does say is that clutter is decisions that haven't been made yet. And I kind of started to feel like time management and setting your priorities, deciding on your priorities, is also decisions that you haven't made yet. And I personally feel that as a frustration. So should you read the book? Personally, if you want practical strategies to be able to get on with this yourself, I don't think this is the book for you. I prefer books written by Dana K. White, who's an American writer. I have read a couple of her books, although I haven't actually reviewed them for the purposes of the book in 5 minutes. But they are much more practical, much more pragmatic, and I think if that's what you want, then that is a better use of your time than this particular book. This is fascinating as an insight into the psychology of it and how people have moved on and the stories, but not so much on the practical, I need to sort this out for myself level. So that's my verdict. That's this week's book in 5 minutes. It's called The Secret Life of Clutter, and it is written by Helen Sanderson, not Anderson, Sanderson. I'll see you next time. Bye for now.